email obviously has got a lot of points that I usually share with everyone. So let's get started. So who am I? I'm Pratik Singh. I'm a distribution engineer at GitLab. Before this, I was a senior software developer at NASDAQ. Before that, I had done a lot of internships at Japanese companies, GitHub, JustPay, and others. What I was in college, I was an EC graduate. Anyone knows EC branch? EC branch? Yeah, you are pretty qualified here. Okay, just for my audience, how many first years there? First years? Okay. How many second years? Okay. And rest obviously third years, right? So let's get started. First of all, what I have done in college is, if you want to go in very much detail, you can scan this QR code. It will redirect you to my LinkedIn. You can find out everything that I did while college. I obviously started with competitive programming. I learned the language. I think it was C++. Again, please, whatever I'm saying, don't take it as a roadmap. I'm just sharing my own story. I started with C++. I thought that I will do very good at life. Eventually, that has not happened yet. But then after that, after a while, I was not able to get into hackathons. So I did web development, then I did DevOps. And after doing some here and there, I got my first time internship, then the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the list kept going. I was very fortunate enough, I will tell you this, that towards my second semester, I got an internship that allowed me to go to Japan. I worked out of for this Japanese company for 3 months. I went to Japan, I traveled everything on my own expense. And obviously after that, I came back to work. I got a scolding from the HODs and everyone that why did you go to Japan? But yes, this is the point that I want to create first. Whatever you are doing in life, okay, whether it is in college, after college, please make sure that you have your priorities straight. You should know what are the priorities in my life. Do I need money in life? Someone who said money at that point is here? Very good answer. Yeah, someone would need money in life, someone would need peace in life, someone would want a very luxury car, a girlfriend, or anything. You should set your priorities very straight. When I was in college, for me, there's no professionals here. Okay, so when I was in college, my priority was very straight that I don't need a very good CGPA. The reason was I was sure I don't wanted to do a master's. I just wanted enough marks to get passed, to get a decent job, and that was enough for me. So my priority was very straight that I want to learn better, I want to get a job, a better internship, more money, very exactly. So today after you go home, right, please make sure that you are taking time, sit down, take an hour, think this very thoroughly. That what is that you need in life? Like in the series Lucifer, right? He asks the victims, what do you desire? That should be very clear in your head. Do you want marks? Do you want money? Do you want, just hanging out with friends? Whatever is your priority, that should be very clear in your head. After that, every decision, very small decision that you need to take in your life becomes very easier. I sound like a Baba right now, but in the coming points you'll understand why I'm saying this. Right. Once you have your priorities very straight, that okay, I want to build a startup like a niche, right? I want to do crack the number of internships that someone can do like Akash did. You have these priorities straight, everything else you see that will start falling into places. When I was in college, a lot of kids or a lot of peers in my group were afraid of responsibilities, were not taking responsibilities enough. They were like, no, I will not take this kind of work, I will not do this project, I will not do this internship. Exactly what Akash was saying, that never say no to opportunities. When you are young, always remember that more responsibilities you have, the better person you become. Not having enough responsibility is the curse. If you have enough responsibilities, you will find yourself that you are doing better in all aspects. I'm not saying only in the terms of college or studying. It can be your personal life. It can be anything. If at one point of my life, when I had a job, I was in college, I was leading point man, I had a personal life too. That time I think was the peak of my life when I was flourishing the most. Right? So again, sounding like a baba, but these 2 points are very important that I always give to my juniors whoever I have not met. Now, let's get started in college. Some of you are in third years, some of you are in first years. Getting started, obviously your seniors have already talked about. I want to tell you about one thing, just what I used to do. Someone I remember was asking over here a question, right? That what is the smartest way to do XYZ? Something he was asking about, right? That in this era, what is the smartest way to do this, smartest way to do that? Please understand, the more optimization you want to do before you start, the worst thing you are doing in your life. I'll repeat. More optimizations you try to do in your life, worst things you are doing in your life at that time. There is nothing called as the smartest way. There is nothing called as the dumbest way. If the dumbest way is taking more and more work, that is what I have done, and I am standing over here. Following the dumbest way of working days and nights, not thinking what the smartest way was, and please, whoever it was, don't mean that I am trying to point you out. I just know that when I was also in college, I was trying to do this. That is, what is the best way to learn web development? What is the best way to learn DevOps? There is no best way. You have to understand, you just get started. You get started, you read, you keep on building, and you just keep on seeing the next step, just the next step. And if you keep on doing this, you will find someday that just because you are doing the dumbest things around, you have reached to a knowledge base where people from outside of India are inviting you. You are offered a seat on a premium class plane of best hotels in the world, and you are just invited to give a talk. That's exactly what has happened to me in the last 2-3 years. I have been to Japan, I have been to America, I have been to Switzerland, I have been to Thailand, and all because I was not doing the smartest thing in life. I was doing the dumbest thing. And to be very honest, these are my juniors, they won't agree, but my seniors and my peers know. I'm the dumbest of the lot. I'm honestly the dumbest of the lot because I want to grind a lot. I want to see that what are the nitty-gritties of this thing. Is this the best way to do it? Okay, maybe what is the worst fear that you all have? That you feel, right? How many people are afraid of failing? Yes? Yeah, it's very different. Raise hands. But I'll tell you a very small story in very quick way. When I was in college, right, I had done like 3-4 internships. I was doing pretty okay, I would say. And as some of your seniors have told, there is a program called as Google School of Code. You know about Google School of Code? Google School of Code, okay. So, for Google School of Code, why I bring this story? Google School of Code, I applied as my OR for 7 to 8 months. 7 to 8 months, I worked with them. I knew the mentors, I knew everyone in that organization. I even knew the address of the person who is the head of that company. Okay. And when the results of GSOC came, I came. Right? Everyone in the peers, like, in the 7th class I used to live. And in 7th class, there is campus juice center, there is BYT juice. I used to stand there, everyone used to come to me. And Pratik, तेरा तो GSOC हो ही जाएगा. तेरा तो GSOC हो ही जाएगा. But yet I failed. It was a failure that was very massive. At that point, I felt that, yeah, there's no coming back from this. You know, I have faced publicly. Everyone thought that I would crack this, but I failed. But you know what? As the life went on, I realized that it was not that important. And that failure only was a very essential thing for me because at that time I realized that there is much more things to do in life. And ironically, That is the same word in which your Akash made a religious internship. So life kind of goes to full circle. Don't be afraid to take up responsibilities. That is why I was coming to the first point. Don't be afraid to take up responsibilities. Don't be afraid of failures. Even if you fail, you are still in college. There is not much at stake for you. Understand? You don't have to provide for a family. You don't have to provide for a kid. You don't have to provide for a wife. You can fail at that point. So there is absolutely no what to say importance for you to go just for the best way, the best right thing to do. You can fail. What is the new word? I'm not able to say this on stage, but obviously dash around and find out, right? At that time we used to say that, but this is one thing. Next point that I wanted to talk about, obviously this side of my point, I wanted to talk about is apply. Obviously Sky talk about it, that you build your head and you go and apply to each and every opportunity you do. You know, one thing that I will share with you. You know, I got so desperate at one point to get better opportunities. One afternoon I was sleeping, okay, I got a call from, I think ICCI Bank. Okay, a person called me from ICCI Bank. And like, hi Pratik, we saw your profile, you applied. I'm like, yes sir, okay, thank you. Like, why do you want to work at bank? Okay? Even though I half asleep state, I said, no sir, your company is very great and I want to learn and this and that. And then the guy goes, Pratik, that is fine. Being an engineer, why are you applying for a cashier job? So I was at that point of applying that I was not even seeing what I was applying for. I was just went and applied. Now if come to the reason why I say I'm the dumbest of the lot, can you take a random guess? I have been at around 10 companies I think. Can you give it random guess how many companies I have been rejected from? Any guesses? Throw out a number in the crowd. 20. Okay. 10 companies and 20 rejections. Go ahead. Any numbers more? Okay. More? Okay. 1,000. Okay. My official count, which I have on my videos, is more than 500. I have been rejected from more than 500 companies, and that is only when I started to count after the third, like from the third year, start of fifth semester. Right? After fifth semester, I have got more than 500 rejections, and that is again coming back to the reason that I was saying, don't be afraid to fail. 500 companies rejected me, but 10 companies chose to hire me. More than 20 conferences chose to pay for me to come and deliver a talk in front of them in their country that takes hours to reach. So the whole crux that I'm trying to inculcate today is that when you're applying, right, I have said this before, I'm saying this again. Rejection, please remember this slide very clearly. Rejection is as common as the air that you breathe in. I repeat. Rejection is as common as the air we breathe in. If you are in college and you are saying ki, bhaiya, I have got 5 rejections, I am very depressed in my life, what to do? Bro, it's nothing. 5 rejections is nothing, and it's not only my story. It is the story of Akash that has missed out. It is the story of Ashutosh Bhaiya, who is my senior. It is the story of my peers who have done this. Everyone has got so many rejections, but we still stand there. We still stand, and it does not affect us. Because, क्या हो गया? Okay, it's alright. We'll go for the next round. Someone or the other will one day recognize your potential and will hire you. Right. Sorry, I have a little bit cold, so bear with me. I have just last 2 points to cover, and then I'll give you all the my playlist. One last thing I want to talk about is how many people understand the word harm. No, listen to me, not joking. How many understand the word? I have said this to my juniors for a lot, and I'm saying this to life, everyone who has made it, how many Linux folders? Anyone knows Linux folders? The founder of Linux, right? Kelsey Hyder, the founder, like the person who created Kubernetes. I had a chance to meet these people, and each and every one of them are the biggest harmony, biggest. Very honestly, what does I mean by that word is, you are responsible for your life. You should always keep thinking that, okay, what is the best thing I can do for myself? Is this the best thing that I can do for myself right now? Is hanging out here, or is it sitting for an interview, or is it preparing, or whatever you want to do? I'll give you examples of how. While I was working at a company, I was interviewing for another company, sitting in Google's office. I was working at Hackerman, I was giving the interview for NASDAQ, and I was sitting in Google office. That is what I got harmed. This is not only me. If you want to go out, check out my peers, Gaurav, everyone, we all do that. Gaurav, I'll tell you a short story of Gaurav. He is a very good friend of mine. Very recently, he had a job at Intel. He had offered letter from IIT Jodhpur, Triple IIT Hyderabad, and Triple IIT Delhi. And he was talking to all these four people, and he says, next month I will just continue or join you. But he's saying all these workplaces. That is what I mean by harmony. You have to organize. If you want to organize, whoever was asking this, you have to organize. You have to ask yourself, what is the best move that I can make for my life right now? Right now, what is the best next thing I can do? Right? There is no shame at all in saying this, that I know this is morally wrong, but I will still do it because it is going to be the best benefit of me. There is one small exclusion. Don't try to hurt people in the process, like people like your friends or your family. But if you are hurting big companies, they don't. Very honestly, no one cares. So, this was one word that people are very uncomfortable with, but I totally take this up. That if you, I'll give you one good example. How many easy graduates? Easy graduates? Okay, so what do I mean by harmony? Right? I will just go a little bit ahead and tell you. When I was in college, I was from EC branch. Whoever are not from EC branch, I'll just tell you, that is one branch where attendance, at least at my time, was very mandatory. And I found loopholes to get attendance. I lied, I'm frankly saying this on stage. I lied, I deceived, and I got attendance. I said that I want XYZ hackathon, but actually I didn't want to hackathon. I just had a prize money from XYZ place. It was bounty, but I named it as hackathon, showed the prize money, got the attendance. You understand this. That is where we come back to the very first point, priorities. Because my priorities was very straight, that hey, I want money. This is the only thing that I want to optimize for. I did it. And a very small story I'll share you on this aspect. First year, how many first years are there? Sorry? First year. So that is my first year, right? After the end of my first year, I realized that electronics is not fit for me. It can be for anyone else. It is like subjective, right? You might like chocolate ice cream, I like butterscotch. So it is a subjective thing. For me, at the end of my first year, I realized that I don't want to do anything with electronics. I called my father and told him that, Papa, I can't do electronics anymore. But I am also not quit college or anything. What I will do is that I will not go to college. And if you ever get a call from college, right, you just lie on behalf of me. No father in the whole world will accept this. Obviously, my did. But when I was right, I was at the end of my second year. And at that point, I had already done 2 internships. My father was able to see what I am doing at my life. He was able to see that being a second year grad, this guy is earning enough to pay his own rent, is pay everything out of it, to take trips out of it. And funny enough, at the end of second year, a professor actually called my father. He said that, hey, your son is not coming to college. And I had lied to my professor that my father is in the hospital. The professor did not ask me, he took out the number, he called my father that, hey, Premji, your son is telling is not coming to classes, and he said he is in hospital. And my father was like, yeah, sir, I have been in hospital for the last 2 weeks. And please excuse my son for this. We will not try to repeat this. Once, as soon as I am out of the hospital, we will continue in the class. So, as I was saying, that once you become harami, you will see that people around you will also start supporting you. You will see that pieces will start coming together, falling together. But you should be setting your priorities that straight. That yes, this is something that I want to do. And let's see. The very last thing I think you already talked about it, but this is the last point that I want to make. When I was in college, right, a big problem. I still have 5 minutes. I also need Q&A okay, after this. So if I have any question, I will. You have nice system next week. So one last thing. When I was in college, when I was in your age, right, I did not understand how to, build a project or anything. One advice that obviously stayed with me through the years, I got from Ashmi there, the biggest advice in life that I have got. If you have got any problem, any problem, break down into smaller chunks and small one chunk at a time. Right? Now, what I mean by that is that if suppose the bigger problem in your life is that suppose I am about to be debarred from college. Okay. Why am I going to be debarred from office? Sorry, college. So okay, I have no idea. What can I do to fix my environment? And this way you see that you can break your very big problems into small chunks. And you start solving. Same goes for tech also. When you are in tech, when you are doing CP or whether you are doing development, you will realize this that if there is something that is very confusing, very big of a question, you break down into small questions. Once we take one question at a time and then we keep solving. Right? So these are all the points that I wanted to create. Anyone has any questions? One just disclaimer. I will not talk anything about college curriculum. I don't know anything about electronics. I have forgotten everything about it, and I don't know my PhD to start. So keep the questions around, okay? And move on. Any questions is fine. It's fine. You can ask any question. Don't be afraid. I will be going back. I don't know if you.